Happy 4th of July. It's time to go spread freedom across England in celebration. Colonize them back. Yeah, so every year on the 4th of July around here, I always try to do a stream. And typically my stream like starting music is always the Team America theme song. Is this set to the right game capture? Yep, it sure is. And that's what I did again today. And it's the first time I've heard the song since, well, whatever I streamed for 4th of July last year. Probably Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I don't remember. And it is interesting seeing how well parts of it have aged when some of the things being said fuck yeah to are things like immigrants, where it's like, oh yeah, like 10, 15 years ago, America would have been like, hell yeah, immigrants. But nowadays, that's not as much of the case anymore, considering the current political landscape in the US. So, some parts of that song have definitely aged well for our modern day scenario. Other parts have not. I think so, that it started becoming like people weren't as into it then, because I mean, countries like America, Canada, lots of places in Europe very much thrive on immigration, I would argue, and very much need it to be able to continue their rate of growth. Let's continue here. But, like, at least that's how we typically see it in Canada, at least around the area where I live and those that I know and stuff like that. I don't know how much of that is seen as the case in the States and stuff like that. Yeah, I can definitely imagine that being the case with, like, being a lot more wary of the outside world and stuff like that, and stoking fear and all that stuff. I forget what my run button is. I'm getting mixed up with other video games. I remember now. I remember my buttons. I'm pretty sure this was the last game that I streamed, and I don't even remember my buttons. I haven't played in a little while. Let's see here. Was this the last thing I streamed? It was. On June 24th. So it is now July 4th, evidently. I am back from my trip out of town. I actually got back a couple days ago, so I was planning on streaming shortly after I got back. But after I got back on Wednesday, after I'd been out at the lake for like a week, I just did not really have the energy to stream after just getting back and spending a decent bit of the day watering over at my Oma's place, making sure that all the plants are watered over there, when it was 32 degrees outside and I was like dying of heat. It was the first time this year that I needed to take a break in the middle of watering because I needed to just cool off and stuff because I was starting to really overheat. So I was just exhausted. And looking at the game schedule, like, I figured, alright, the first thing I should probably stream when I'm back is more Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I gotta get on top of this game. And I was exhausted from the week away, and, it was a fun week away and stuff like that, but it is also, like, really nice being able to just, like, sit back, relax, be like, I don't have guests to entertain and stuff like that. I can just chill out. And after all the heat and stuff, I just didn't want to play any of this game. So then I was like, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll do it Thursday. And then Thursday rolled around, and I ended up making pizza for dinner. It's the second time that I've made pizza myself. Had that with the family, and ended up binge watching all of Squid Game Season 3 now that that's out, since we would have typically seen it out of town, but since we had guests over. What the heck is going on with the lighting? Didn't really get the chance to see it out there, so we kind of binged all of it yesterday. So by the time that we were done, it was just about midnight. And I was thinking about streaming, and I was like, oh, I'll get on top of my game stuff. I do kind of want to finish Final Fantasy VII and Dark Deity 2 before Fragapalooza in about a month. Like, get a little bit of a clean slate out here, or maybe finish some stuff off before Donkey Kong Bonanza in a couple weeks. So I was gonna stream something last night feeling like, hey, I gotta get on top of this stuff. I want to get stuff done with. And I just didn't have the energy. I was like, it's so late. I just can't. And then today, I was like, I just got back from a family dinner a little while ago. And ended up playing a lot of Smash with the family, and that's always fun. And I got back, and honestly, I felt kind of tired, and part of me didn't really want to stream, but I was like, you know what? I've been putting it off a little while. It's the 4th of July. I always do a stream on the 4th of July. Let's do a 4th of July stream. And here I am. So a combination of being exhausted and just really not wanting to play Assassin's Creed Valhalla have led to me just not touching this for a couple days because I've been so utterly exhausted and completely unmotivated to play this game. But hey, here we go! You know? Yeah, where I live, it almost broke 100 Fahrenheit. You know, I don't really know how Celsius converts to Fahrenheit, but the hot tub that we have in our sunroom, which is why my hair is a bit wet that I just got out of a little bit ago, reads in Fahrenheit rather than Celsius. And that usually we have at about 101 or 102 Fahrenheit. I was just in there at like 103 Fahrenheit because it was a hot day and it was heating it up and stuff like that. So having the frame of reference of the temperature of my hot tub, I know that 100 Fahrenheit is very, very hot for just typical outside temperature there and stuff like that. And yeah, I definitely believe that when it comes to, you know, stuff that has led into today there. I think you're on pace to beat this game by the end of the year. I hope so. But I want to know, like, for sure that I'm gonna have it beaten by the end of the year. But yeah, so, yeah. Still, I can't blame you. I couldn't imagine, playing through this game here? After the last stream, I said that I was gonna do this one and continue, like, the Sigurd plotline. And hey, this will be a little bit more interesting, at least, because we're continuing, like, the main story. Stuff that I thought was a little bit more interesting. Playing through all these games? Yeah. Yeah. I will pledge to 6. I'll have to finish my sentence, fair enough there. Yeah. You know, it wasn't too bad for a while. I was having fun. I was enjoying going through all these games in order. I was like, this is a good time. You know, sometimes there'll be some stinkers in the mix, but early on, that was just things that I could beat in like 1 to 2 sessions, like Altair's Chronicles for the Nintendo DS, like these weird niche spin-offs and stuff like that that are just kind of fun to showcase, like, wow, that sure is crazy and weird and not super fun, but it's beaten in like 1 session, so who cares? Like, it's done and through with, as opposed to things that take me like a year. I'm also playing with my PlayStation controller today because like my B button has started sticking on my Xbox controller, so I'm gonna do PlayStation tonight, so my buttons might look a little bit different. So yeah, I miss those days where it's like, you know, generally they're pretty good. Like, obviously there's some flaws in the mix. Like, I would definitely say that there are some heavy flaws with some of the earlier games, but generally it was like, hey, you know, these are pretty fun. I'm still enjoying playing them. It's a good time. The only real stinkers are like the super short spin-offs that are done within no time anyway. Whereas now the stinkers that I'm playing are things that take like an entire year. And I generally had fun with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I thought it was a pretty good game with some cool stuff going on. But it was just so bloated that, like, too much of anything is a bad thing. And, like, I don't mind there being a lot of optional content to go around and do if you want. But to beat the game, there being so much stuff, and so much stuff that felt so fillery. I don't see anything I can dive into, but, like, oh. I guess there really wasn't anything I can dive into. I just thought seeing that post meant that there was gotta be something down there that I wasn't seeing. I'm at the point where I'm just, very done with this series. I remember several years ago when I was still in the earlier phases of this whole Assassin's Creed series around here, where, I was in some of the earlier games, and one of my streamer friends, I think it was Hawk's Corner, decided that me going through all the Assassin's Creed games inspired him to do the same, except it wasn't just playing through all of them. He instead was going to 100% them all in order, since he platinumed a whole bunch of games. And I have no idea how far his journey got. Like, I tuned into some streams early on, and then I just didn't really see him stream all that much after that point, so I don't know if he gave up, which I would not blame him. I cannot imagine trying to 100% these games. Trying to 100% something like Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Oh, that's fun. I'll gladly 100% that game. Something like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Good, enjoyable time. Yes, please. I'll 100% that game. But, oh my god. Things like Odyssey or Valhalla just end me. I assume that probably achievements because he was going for, like, platinum trophies and stuff like that, which I didn't even know what that meant for a long time, but now that I own a PlayStation, I know what that means. But yeah. Yeah, there is definitely still some lingering effects of stuff like that. I can't wait for the 2nd season of Fallout. I recently rewatched the 1st season with family, and I got reminded of a lot of those kinds of themes. Yeah, like this and Odyssey, I think are designed to get you like do the microtransactions, if not probably just a sense of being a completely different type of game trying to sell based on content amount and not quality of that content. Yeah, it feels very much like quality over quantity. Like, and I mean, that is a really big selling point. A lot of people see like hundreds plus hours of content, a vast open world, and that is just like such a still major selling point. Like, I think that I still feel like we're kind of in the lingering wave of Breath of the Wild in that we have had pushes for like open world craze and people being like, ah, linear sucks, open world is where it's at in like different places throughout the gaming history. Like, I think after Skyrim there was a big open world push. I think that we're still sort of in the wave of Breath of the Wild, but I think we're at like the tail end of like the Breath of the Wild wave, where I think linearity might be gaining some more popularity again, and people might be getting a bit more tired of the open world bloat, and we're probably waiting for like the next game that's really gonna make people want to push for open world again. But you see open world, and a lot of people are like, wow, that's a good thing to have on the label. That creates so much more value. Like, just look at Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, for example. People were like, what, Pokemon plus open world? Open world naturally means amazing and good. This is gonna be like such a fantastic game. Whereas when you think about it, it's like, wait, Pokemon's a level-based, turn-based system. How is that going to work in open world unless they scale it accordingly? Which they didn't, and it was just a linear system that you can do in any order, but it kind of punishes you for not handling it linearly. And but still, people are like, open world Pokemon, and like it sells really well. So I think that open world still has like a bit of a connotation with the name where people assume quality, so much content, they're getting so much bang for your buck, and people like the freedom. And I think that, at least for myself and those I know, that there is more of an appreciation kind of coming back for linearity and all that. I will, like, let's say these games are the exact same price, for example. I will gladly play, like, a 20 to 30 hour, well-polished game with, like, a pretty finite amount of content, like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood or Assassin's Creed 4 or something like that, where it's like, hey, there's a decent bit optional I can do on the side, but the core experience you can go through, like, bum rush super fast and just enjoy that. Maybe do a little bit of side stuff along the way, and that's really it. But just be like a really nice quality experience there. I will gladly take that over something like this, where it's like, there's so much stuff and so many hours of content, but everything is just, like, the same and boring and meh. Like, I will gladly play full price for something like Brotherhood over something like this, in terms of, like, quality over quantity and stuff like that. I don't know how many gamers are feeling the same as me nowadays, but, how's it going, DS Shock Trooper? That's fair enough for Doormaster.
It was only for a moment. I was so tired.
As are we all, boy.
Yeah, I don't think the open world phrase ever ends. It just kind of has highs and lows.
Let's not disappoint me again.
I do still think that we're kind of in the wave of Breath of the Wild, but we're kind of at the low of that and waiting for, like, the next wave to come in here pretty soon. This is where I think we're at.
You must be Eivor. I've heard much of you, young one. They say you're something. We'll see.
So we will.
Stay around a while and judge for yourself.
Oh, I will. Have no fear of that.
Eivor hopes to rescue Sigurd from the madwoman Fulke, now ensconced in Porchester Fortress. If you wish to crown yourself King of Wessex, Porchester must fall. An alliance here serves us both.
You promised a great army, but you couldn't breach a Crone's Garden with what you have assembled here.
This is not the sum of my forces. Where are the rest?
Your allies are on their way. We must be patient.
We cannot wait for them.
This voice
March
acting
as soon as
isn't
we're able.
bad per se, but it's just not
Are you
really
keen to see Valhalla today?
hitting
I will
it for
not sit
me.
on my heels while Sigurd rots in that she-dog's care.
We might muster for an
It's just
attack in
kinda,
the woods east of Porchester. But there are scouts between there and here.
Scouts I can manage. Point me at them and I will blind Fulke's eyes.
One walks the road between Briggsworth and Chichester. Another on the riverbank north of Crowley. A third keeps watch on the hills south of Croendene. But I warn you, these are all we know of. There may be more.
A risk we must take. I will find the scouts. You move the men into position near Porchester.
That is a rash gamble, Ravenfeeder. If we are spotted, we will be vulnerable.
If you want victory, come now or not at all. Every hour we waste could be Sigurd's last.
You had better be all they promised.
Yeah, I think serviceable is a good way to describe the voice acting here. Like, yeah, it gets the job done, but it doesn't really do anything more than that. And it is true that Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out next year. Maybe it will end up being like the next big wave of people pushing for open world. Maybe. Open world crazy never ended, just had some huge waves that goes down a bit. Okay, I think that one I already read there. I love the idea, but there's so few things that scratch that itch and actually does it justice. Yeah, that's kind of what I feel here. Helldivers 2 is coming to Xbox. I did not actually hear that. That's interesting news. I may as well just run this way, I guess, there. But yeah. You see a crash happen, especially if GTA 6 is a huge disappointment. Yeah, I think a lot of people are riding on GTA 6 being good. Like, how long has it been in development now, and how many millions put into it? An absolutely absurd amount. I think a lot of people are really banking on that for, like, the next big game here. I haven't played any of the Grand Theft Auto games on the channel before. I played through Grand Theft Auto 5 casually before I was a content creator, and, like, I enjoyed it. I don't really remember much about the story, but I remember typically enjoying it, and I played a little bit of online with friends, but not much. I thought it was a fun game. But both with enjoying that one and just how big this upcoming release is supposed to be here. And how meaningful it'll be for just the industry in general, whether it's good, bad, or something in between. It is one that I would like to showcase on the channel. What? Okay, maybe I can, like... Dang it. Maybe I can, like... Hold on. Maybe I go the other way here. Like this way, and then I get a better shot. Whoops. Whoops. First try. I need them to not be murderizing me. Okay, that does, like, nothing there, and I can't even stomp out of it. Hey. Okay, and then I come here. And then I do that. And then I come here. Oh. Well, they're being weird, and they let me confirm kill.
My work has been done for me.
There. I did it. I confirmed kill. Yeah, I guess because I'm in combat. Let's call... Whoops, the big wolf. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Whoa! Oh, no, that's my big wolf. Where the heck? Like, set a course for this way. But yeah. Open world's probably really expensive. Yeah, it probably is a lot more expensive to develop than just, like, a lot less content, linear, focused kind of experience. I would imagine here. Was there a GTA 6 build leak that happened and it was kind of crap? I believe so, but I mean, like, when it comes to leaks, we also have to consider that it's, like, early versions. And that's... I think this was a couple of years ago, something like that. And that was very much what I felt at the time, where it's like, hey, we can't be judging this. It's not the state that they're releasing it in. And I still stand by the importance of that and all that, but I have no idea what the quality of it was like and stuff. Now, obviously, the game isn't even close to release, about how much time it already had. Shouldn't be complete shit either. I would hope so. But I mean, just look at Skull and Bones. So, I mean, time doesn't always necessarily mean quality. Might not, necessarily do. I have more faith in Rockstar than I do Ubisoft, but, so generally speaking, it should usually mean more quality, but not always. GTA 5 took 265 mil to make. GTA 6 is 1 to 2 billion. Yeah, isn't it gonna be like the new most expensive video game ever made or something like that? Finally back from that family get-together and finally back home to my Xbox Series X. Nice, nice. Out here to play some video games that they'll hopefully continue to make if they can stop laying people off at Microsoft literally all the time. Stealth attack. Well, oh, I don't have my sound effect thing set up. Didn't even think about that. I guess I can set that up shortly here. Or maybe we could be sound effect less for our stream. It's 4th of July, we're practicing freedom. Man, these triggers feel very different than my Xbox One. We can be free from the sound effects. The parry killed him. Why'd that randomly explode? Where's the scout that I'm looking for, whatever the heck? I could have sworn there was a blue guy here. What? Did he run in this way?
If they see me, this will get messy.
Whoa. Whoa. Come on. But yeah. And I think the original game was just 2 battles and paddles, my god. And a bouncing ball. Yeah, times have changed. It has been quite a while since Tennis for 2. Well, I guess Tennis for 2 didn't even have paddles. If we want to be, like, actually specific about, like, the first video game. Be specific there. It's like 2024 that the leak happened. Okay, so it was, like, last year. This is the case. Wasn't the leak in, like, 2021. And if they started after Red Dead Redemption 2, there probably wasn't much time between then and when the leak was built. The leak build was from. Also, GTA 6 isn't coming to PC on launch, right? Is it not?
Hell with you.
Hi. Bye, marksman.
Die now.
Oh. It feels weird playing without my sound effects. Should I just, like... Whoa. Oh, I missed.
What's this?
What do you mean, what's this? Here, look at this. Whee! No. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Stun attack him! There, I don't need to confirm kill, do I? Dang it, I totally do. Confirm kill. Oh, at least it doesn't take forever. Ooh, stabby stab. It was literally like 6 months ago. Was it really that recent? 6 months ago was still 2025. Well, we are over halfway through the year. At this point, we are now closer to 2050 than we are to 2000. Scary thought. Where's my wolf? I don't know where the heck. Where even? Apparently there was a leak 2 weeks ago. Oh. More stuff with GTA 6 being leaked. Squeezy. Man, I don't know how good GTA 6 is going to end up being, but I would much rather be playing a game like GTA 6 right now over this. Man, I'm getting stuck here. Yeah, because I think that really big leak was showing, like, actual gameplay footage and the early builds and a bunch of code and stuff like that. Was that the one from last year? Or was that a different one here? Or something like that. Squeezy! Out of the way here. We got places to be. Time to run around and kill some scouts. At least some more interesting story stuff should happen this stream since we're doing the plot line that I actually semi-care about. Pretty sure the one from last year was the full build. Okay, so it's probably the big one there. GTA 4's peak GTA? I've never played any of them outside of GTA 5. I don't think I've ever actually played a Rockstar game outside of GTA 5. I just played that one casually after I got it on probably a Steam summer sale or something like that many moons ago. And I was like, hey, that was fun. And I didn't really play it much after I beat the story. But that's another example of a game where it's like, hey, there's a lot of stuff that you can do around the world if you want, but you can also just kind of laser focus, tunnel vision the main objective and play through that and have fun, and I'm pretty sure that's what I did, and I had fun. I'd much rather be playing something like that than this madness. Yoink. So, where the heck? And if I really want something to scratch my Assassin's Creed itch, the game that I would most lean towards nowadays would be Ghost of Tsushima. I had always heard good things about that game. I only played through it for the first time earlier this year. And oh my god, that game is just what I wish Assassin's Creed was nowadays. That's why I wish Modern AC was. And I'm actually really looking forward to Ghost of Yotai. However the heck you pronounce it. I'm gonna need to look up online just what the proper pronunciation is, because they've never said it in any one of the trailers. So I don't actually know how it's properly pronounced. But I really, really liked Ghost of Tsushima. And I really wish Assassin's Creed was just that. So I think nowadays, if I wasn't doing like my whole series of all the Assassin's Creed games in order, if I just really wanted that Assassin's Creed itch, I'd just play Ghost of Tsushima, man. That game is so good. Really looking forward to the new game this year. Where the heck?
Patrols the riverbank north of Crowley.
So like... But yeah. So it really is the case that's not going to be out on PC initially?
Hey, no escape, you yellow dog!
What?
Your end is nigh.
Okay. Well, that did not quite go as I hoped. Not quite. Does this not explode? That's extremely awkward, isn't it? No, not together. Am I in the right area or no? I saw a bunch of dudes over here, so I assume the dude that I need might be over here, and he doesn't seem to be. This is probably a good position to be, because then I can do stuff like this. It seems so weird not having my sound effects. In fact, maybe I don't even really need to kick. But, here. There. Knock you off. And then... something's exploding over there. You started being on fire. I don't know. But yeah. By the way, did you see what Nintendo did to Mario Kart World and everyone was upset about it? Change the random so that it only chooses from the, like, 3 options that are already on screen there, thereby forcing you to play, like, the intermission What even got me? Did a stab of his come out? I assume so. Forcing people to play the intermission tracks rather than using random as a way to force playing a fresh course start to finish. I know people are playing the intermission tracks a whole bunch, and people are making memes about, like, things like, what's more entertaining? Playing Mario Kart intermission tracks or my drive home from work? I've started having YouTube videos like that recommended to me. So people are a bit upsetty spaghetti and starting to really hate the intermission tracks. Where the heck is this friggin' Scout? Yeah, PC is absolutely a huge market, but I know that a lot of games oftentimes aren't optimized for PC well on day one. Good example of that being Elden Ring and Shadow of the Erdtree. But yeah. So, it seems odd that they wouldn't be releasing on PC initially. I'm sure GTA 6 will have an online mode that'll use to recoup the losses mostly. I imagine so. I can only imagine how much money GTA 5 online prints, especially with like the whole shark cards and stuff like that, being able to get people to spend more money. So, I would be extremely surprised if GTA 6 didn't have anything like that. Where the heck is this Scout? Is it this way? Part of this group? Is it that guy in the back? It's that guy in the back. Jeez. Okay, well.
Okay, Scout. Right where Basim said he would be.
Oh, well, it just gave me a general area to search, so I don't know if he was right where Basim said he would be. I guess there's marks on the map, but
The guards here.
on the overall map, it just said that this is my general search area.
Interesting. This
Whoops!
Scout's carrying-
No, not Carrie! I wanted to confirm kill, damn it! Do I have to? Oh, I don't have to confirm kill on that one specifically for some reason.
East of Portchester.
Oh! Squizzy. Don't mind me. Wolf! 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 Get back here, please. Here we go. Now I'm fine, right? But yeah, yep, Nintendo really said you'll engage with, I assume, the intermission course of you being there, whether you like it or not. Seems like. I was actually working on my layouts earlier today for the Mario Kart World Tournament at Fragapalooza. I think I got something not half bad set up, where you have, like, player names in each of the four screens so that you know who's who. There's a little bit of space for camera and player cam and stuff. Should work out well. I can still use like my regular tournament between games layout that I use for Smash Bros. to go to between games and show the format of the tournament and stuff like that. Can't wait for Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Rather play a game that doesn't have intermission hallways and also has Joker and SpongeBob SquarePants. That's true. But yeah. Yeah, well, to recoup the development cost for sure. But yeah, I get what you mean by saying losses.